Groups like the Seventh-day Adventists, who insist on observing a Saturday Sabbath, are not wrong per se.
So do they know this? Well, we are going to get deep into this. So if you are interested, then I would encourage you to watch this video until the end. Do not go anywhere because this is getting interesting. Some few days ago, I made a video about this Sunday pastor who preached the truth about the Sabbath to his members during service. I have linked that video in the description, so if you did not watch it, you can do that after watching this video. Now, another Sunday keeping Christian who seems to be a Catholic has shared the truth about the Sabbath. What did he say? Let's listen to him.
In the beginning, God worked for 6 days, creating the heavens and the earth, the seas and all that are in them, and on the seventh day, he rested. And since God did this, you should do this as well.
Yes, this is so true and based on the Bible. When you read Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, you will find that God rested on the seventh day after making all things in 6 literal days. You will also find in the same verses that God did not only rest on the Sabbath, but he also blessed and sanctified it. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which he had created. Also, when you read Exodus chapter 20, you would find that God gave this Sabbath to man so that man could also rest from his labor. Now, let's continue with what the Catholics said about the Sabbath.
Christians, for some reason, ignore the law and worship on Sundays. What gives? Some have suggested that it's simply switched days, that we no longer observe it on Saturday, but it's still the same Sabbath, just celebrated on Sunday. While seemingly logical, this is not correct. From almost the very beginning, Christians acknowledged that the Sabbath remained on Saturday, so why don't we observe Saturdays as well then? Are we not breaking God's commandment to keep holy the Sabbath? Some have suggested that the reason we don't is because the law no longer applies, that it has been abolished and so is no longer binding on Christians. This is also not correct.
Friends, did you hear that? I thought they always say that the Sabbath was abolished or the law of God was abolished, so there's no need to keep the Sabbath.
Besides the fact that Jesus famously preached, "I did not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it," the letter to the Hebrews, written a generation after the birth of the church, continues to assert the importance of the Sabbath. Therefore, a Sabbath rest still remains for the people of God. For this reason, the Catechism of the Catholic Church reminds the faithful that the requirement to keep holy the Sabbath is still very much in effect, devoting 39 canons to explaining its significance. The fact that Jesus rose from the dead on a particular day is of no consequence next to the fact that he rose from the dead. It's why we as Catholics celebrate the Lord's resurrection in the Eucharist nearly every day of the year, as each day is an opportunity to take part in the life that he brought us. For this reason, groups like the Seventh-day Adventists, who insist on observing a Saturday Sabbath, are not wrong per se, but they do miss something in the process. The Sabbath is not a day as much as it is a person, a reminder of creation that is a weekly observance. If we choose to remember this on Saturday, our focus remains on the first creation. But if we do so on Sunday, the first and eighth day, our focus is on the fulfillment of that creation in Christ.
You know, he thinks that the Sabbath only points back to creation and identifies God as the creator. He doesn't know that the Sabbath also points to redemption and identifies God as our Redeemer. When you read Exodus chapter 20 verse 2, it says, "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Therefore, you shall remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. So I want to say the Sabbath does not only point to creation, it also points to redemption. All right, this is all that I had to share with you. I know you have so many things to share. You can do that in the comment section and I'll be glad to read them. All right, so friends, thank you for watching and see you next time.